So before we get started, we're going to look at our Hebrew nugget for today. And this comes from it's a long title in this book called On the Classification and Geographical Distribution of the Mammalia, being a lecture on Sir Robert Reed's Foundation, delivered before the University of Cambridge on May 10th, 1859, to which he added an appendix on the gorilla and on the extinction and transmutation of species. So this was actually a paper that was written and read before Cambridge, University of Cambridge. All right, so he goes on in here and he says, let me see, with reference to the characteristics of color, which are extreme, we have now opportunities of knowing how much that character is the result of the influence of climate. And before I go on reading this, this theory as to why some people were dark and some people were white, and they thought, that it had to do with climate. If you were in a colder area, you turn lighter. If you were in a darker area, you turn darker. Of course, we know that theory is not true, but I just want you to understand the context of this reading. So he said, we know it more particularly by that most valuable mode of testing such influences, which we derive from the peculiarity of the Jewish race. For 1800 years, that race has been dispersed in different latitudes and climates, and they have preserved themselves distinct from intermixture with other races of mankind. There are some Jews still lingering in the valleys of the Jordan, having been oppressed by the successive conquerors of Syria for ages, a low race of people and described by trustworthy travelers as being as black as any other Ethiopian races. Others of the Jewish people participating in European civilization and dwelling in the northern nations show instances of the light complexion, the blue eyes and light hair of the Scandinavian families, referencing the Ashkenazi. And the condition of the Hebrews since their dispersion has not been such as to admit such admixture by the proselytism of household slaves. We are thus led to account for the differences in color by the influence of climate. So you're trying to use climate as the reason that the colors were different among some of the light-skinned European Jews. And they knew that there had not been a lot of admixture, so they were trying to just come up with some kind of conclusion for that. So anyway, this is a good reference. I downloaded it, put it in the book old books folder. Also, there's a link on the slide that you can go to get that.